So there's a couple terms we should keep in mind. Usually, a value criterion is a verb phrase. Usually it's a verb phrase. And it's not absolute. So these are action words. So, and it's not absolute, it's directional. So it's not absolute, it's directional. So this would say, like, you get more life, or you get less deaths, or you get more money, or less crime, or those are the sorts of things that you would use as your value criterion. It's not going to just be crime is eliminated, because obviously anything you come up with is probably not going to totally make the world perfect. And so you want to think about it being directional. So this is minimizing, maximizing, increasing, decreasing. So let's get out the worksheet that we did at the beginning about basketball, and let's review it for a minute. Kind of trying to think about value structure as we are applying this to the debate round. So, what is the value in a basketball game? So the objective, the do now we did was what? Romani, what were the instructions on the do now?
To choose whether we wanted shorter or tall players.
So we have short or tall basketball players. So, what's the value in basketball? What would, if we were coming up with a value? What if you're the coach of a basketball team? What's your objective?
You want to look for people who can shoot well.
People who can shoot well. What other kinds of things are we looking for?
Speed.
Speed. So we got shooting, speed. Anything else?
Height.
Height. Why is height good?
So you can rebound.
You can rebound and block. So how do we decide who wins a basketball game?
Whoever scores most points.
Most points. So the value in a basketball game is wins, right? You don't have any. The coach of the Hornets does not really care if he has a really good-looking team if they lose all their basketball games, right? The goal is to win the basketball games. So the value is wins. How do we know who wins a basketball game?
Whoever scores the most points.
So the criterion is points. Having more points. Right? So if this is our world, then what are we going to look at when we evaluate players? We're going to ask them who does what. What sort of things do we want to know? So the objective is to get a win, and the criteria for getting wins is scoring more points. How do we evaluate tall versus short basketball players? What basis? What are we looking for? So these things all provide us what? Shooting gets us what? More or less points?
More.
More points. So this is more points. Speed is what? Is that more points, or is it opponent getting fewer points, or is it both?
Both.
So this is plus points and plus defense. Alright? How about height? Is this going to be more getting us points? Or how about blocks? Is that getting us points?
That's keeping the opponent from getting points.
So this is negative opponent points, right? So all of these things, how could we then apply them through this criterion? So anything that we said, so we say that which kind of players are better shooters? Tall. Tall or better from where? Kia?
Anywhere.
Tall or better from anywhere? What do you think, Josh?
Up.
Up close? So we'll say they're close shooters. Short players are better at shooting from where? Outside. Why are short players not going to get you more points inside?
Because they're going to get blocked.
Exactly. So this becomes a really easy debate to have then about which kind of players we use, and we know the whole goal here is most points. We don't care how they look. We don't care about the kind of behavior they have. We just care about the number of points they score. And so anything that happens in the debate round, if Jacques is saying, I want short players, and Ricky's saying, I want tall players, and Jacques says, I want short players because they do a lot more community service. Ricky, what's your response then?
But if they can't shoot because they're always getting blocked, then what's the point of that?
Well, but if Jacques' argument is that short players go out and do more community service, and so he likes that basketball
Oh,
team.
okay,
That's his argument. So that's his
I thought
argument.
you
What's your
meant,
response?
That's not relevant because that doesn't matter in the game.
Because
It doesn't get
talk
more
about
points.
Exactly. So, Umani, if Stephanie said she wanted tall players because they are better able to block shots, how would you respond if you wanted more short players?
I don't know.
Somebody want to help her out? Jacques.
You know, you just say the short players don't have to go inside all the time.
They don't have to go inside, so they can shoot from outside, and that gets us what? More points. Exactly. So think about that when we're talking about value structure and criteria. The key is you want to have your value at the top, and more points is going to get you wins, but you don't want to be spending the round talking about this means that my team gets more wins. Like you don't want to say my team has a better chance at getting a 60-win season. You say no, this is going to get my team more points. And so the focus is by trying to get wins, we're going to get the goal is to get points. And so if we get points, we're going to get the wins, and that's the value we're trying to get to. So does this make sense how we can apply it using the basketball?